Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a book roast specifically for The Wheel of Time. I only read the first 4 books of The Wheel of Time. My husband Sean has read all of them, so I thought he would be a nice addition to this particular video. For those of you that haven't seen this series on my channel, it's where I ask a bunch of you to let me know your unpopular opinions about a specific book or series, and so that's what we're going to be going over.
It has been a little bit since I read these books. I was a younger man. Hopefully I can provide some context, but my memory is also horrible.
I read the first 4. There's a reason I only read the first 4. I don't hate them, but I didn't love them either.
I read them. I got through them. It's not something I plan on revisiting. I'm excited to see some
Salty.
opinions.
Some toasty roast.
Because I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. You know, I'm not in love with it. I don't despise it. But if there's some stuff that'll make me laugh, then I like that.
We won't be giving away any spoilers, so even if you haven't read the series, no worries about that. Anyway, jumping into the roast. Oh, okay, this first one, a little juicy. It says that it was better under Sanderson than Jordan. For those that don't know, Sanderson finished the series because Robert Jordan passed away before he was able to finish it.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think Brandon certainly pushed that plot right along.
He wrapped things
There's
up.
a infamous books like 7 through 10 are kind of, or maybe 8 through 10 are kind of known as the slow portion. The series didn't have to be
14.
that long.
One person says the series is not long enough.
That is absolutely not correct.
Even though it's an opinion.
You are wrong, whoever you are.
Okay, this next one is pretty harsh. It says, possibly the most bland fantasy I've ever read. It couldn't even finish the first book.
Yikes. I think that first book is probably one of the harder ones to get through, actually. The beginning is pretty slow. I thought it was pretty slow. You read the first one. What did you think of the beginning of the first one?
It was fine.
There's a lot of,
That's how I feel about most of it.
Like, let's have a party, and it's a special event. It's a holiday. Who's that cloaked rider? For a long time.
Oh no, a girl. I don't know how to talk to girls. Perrin and Matt would know. And then you go to Perrin, and Perrin's like, I don't know how to talk to girls.
Rand
and Matt would know. And then Matt's like, I'm going to pinch women's bottoms. The next one says, all the female characters are the same. Even when described as nice, they just have tempers.
I mean, I can get that one. I wish I had a braid to tug. Yeah, they're kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say they're the same, but they all have, like,
outbursts.
I mean, I can't really think of, like, I mean, Avienda's fairly calm. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. I don't think she's like a warrior.
There is a person that just wrote braid pulling. It's too much.
Is that a positive or a negative?
I think they just are
I need more braid
annoyed. This next one says, I hate the descriptions of the dresses. They're not bad, but they're too long. There's a lot of descriptions about the clothes.
Yeah, a lot of necklines are described specifically. We gotta know exactly where the neckline is, because then we can know more about the character of the person.
Yeah, if their neckline is low, we know that they're shady, and they're just trying to manipulate people.
But if it's higher, they're good.
They're pure.
I'm sure someone's gonna be like, this person has a low neckline, and they're blah, 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 blah. My neckline is, I got an undershirt.
Mine's up high, so yeah. I'm one of the good ones. That's how it works, right? This next one I like. It says, the characters become less intelligent when the story needs them to be less intelligent for it to work. I do remember Matt being a complete idiot in those. Because I always heard from him and his brother, since they had read the whole series, like, oh, Matt's so cool. Matt's like one of the coolest characters. And I was like, cool, I'm excited to see this guy. And then Matt is such an idiot. Like, Matt is Abu. Is that his name? The monkey from Aladdin? Like, literally, Robert Jordan just like, I feel like it's the same plot line. I'm not even kidding. There is a book where he's just basically like, oh, I'm not supposed to touch anything or take anything. I'm gonna do that exact thing.
Am I allowed to roast while I'm here?
Sure, you can roast.
Were
you about to?
No, I'm just...
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I feel like this is a toasty or roast.
Ooh, a toasty or roast.
So many pages, so little in the way of actual decent, good quality writing. How is this even possible?
I mean, that is a toasty roast. I mean, if you like descriptions of objects, it's great writing.
Rugs.
Yeah.
Clothes. Curtains.
It's by no means bad. I think
there's a difference between good prose and good descriptions. And
that's true.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I'm not saying his prose is terrible. It's just, I think that lush descriptions can evoke imagery in your mind, and that's a great thing. And that's probably what he's setting out to do in establishing culture, because he does that a lot with his descriptions. But sometimes, like, these are a lot of descriptions, and I don't care. One person, kind of similar, says the writing style makes it non-immersive.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I think this comes down to if you are a character-driven reader or a plot-driven reader, or maybe not even plot-driven, but if you value world-building more than character work, not saying there is no character work, but I think that so much of what is appealing about Wheel of Time is how grand the world is, and I think people who really like that element would totally disagree and think it's incredibly immersive because you're immersed in the world. But someone like me who loves to just sit and think with characters, I don't feel like the writing style really does that. Like, I don't feel that, I never felt that connected to the characters. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. Once again, it's been a while since I've read it, but there's no one character that I am like, yeah, that person's amazing.
This one's nice, but maybe it's unpopular. I don't actually know if this is unpopular. It says, I believe the show will be awesome.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I think the show has potential to be really good, but I don't think the show is going to follow the books
I don't think
as
it
well
can, yeah.
as some people are going to want it to.
Yeah, I mean, 14 books and they're that long each, there's no way.
Well, I also think that because so much of it is descriptions, if they can get really good sets and costume designs and stuff, that just takes out a lot of that. So it's possible they can follow the books really well. They're going to have to cut some stuff, though.
Which, I mean,
it's maybe not a bad thing.
Yeah.
This person says they like Sword of Truth better than Wheel of Time.
Oh, wow.
You read Sword of Truth,
you know, it's
right?
so I'm gonna go on the record because I don't care. I liked I think I read like 4, maybe 5 of whatever those books are called. I don't actually know. So the first one. Oh, is that what it's called? Sword of Truth? The first one's called Wizard's First Rule. That's what was getting mixed up. I thought they were fine. I definitely think I definitely think Sword of Truth was probably influenced by Wheel of Time, although I don't know that for a fact. I'm not sure when the publications were. But, you know, I thought it was fine. I didn't finish, obviously, but
that says a lot too. Yeah. If you finished one and you tried to keep going, and then eventually you were like, oh.
I think what I didn't like, and maybe I didn't give it enough time, was each book was like its own thing. Like it didn't have like that continuous story.
But you didn't hate them the way maybe some people on the internet hate them.
No, and what's funny now is I hate series, and I'm like, I like standalone books. So, you know, now I'd probably be like, hey, one and done plot.
Your thing.
Good thing.
This person says skimming some parts is okay. I feel like that's just
absolutely okay.
I was going to say, I just feel like that's something, like that's a whole video topic of whether you can skim or not. I mean...
And I think it comes down to your interest again, because like there's some books I won't skim because I'm like, oh, I'm really interested in everything they have to say. But man, when it's just like, let me tell you about this palace, and I'm just like, I don't care. That's
kind of how I feel. I feel like I am also getting to a point where action scenes, they better matter. Because otherwise it's like, so-and-so, he did the Flight of the Crane and then spun around and did that, because that's how their fighting is a lot of the time.
Kitten prances over the garden.
I mean, on the topic of skimming, if you're like, I don't feel like reading all these random made up names of sword stances, then I'm like, well, you know, you're probably not going to be like, wait, I got to the end and I didn't know what happened because I skimmed that part. This person says Fail is their favorite character. I didn't get far enough to really have much of an opinion.
I don't know. She was really into, like, making a certain someone angry because they, like found it attractive. Kind of mean.
This is so sexy, isn't it?
Yeah.
This person just says sexist.
I don't know.
Depends on what you consider sexist, obviously, and what you're referring to.
I mean, there are certainly... I'm not sure if I'd say sexist scenes, but certainly interesting scenes. I mean, you know, we got those, like, Aiel sweat tents where it's like...
Ladies, you must take off your clothes.
Yeah, and, like, there's always, like, when they go to the dream world, when they first start, they're like... Oh, I forgot to put on clothes when I got to the dream world. And then, like, they have to, like, concentrate. Then they get really into, like, what they wear in the dream world. Like, she's wearing a green dress with 5 buttons.
There's also some polygamy in the story.
That is true.
And I don't know maybe if that's what you're referring to. You got to that part of the story. And the polygamy elements, a lot of people are like, I think it's great and really modern way of thinking. It's very progressive to have written a polygamous relationship. And I'm like, is it that polygamous when it's just 3 ladies with 1 dude? Like, how come the ladies aren't with other dudes? And also, they have this force called Taviran, which kind of, like, pools. Like, it's like a force that kind of, like, reshapes the tapestry where it, like, kind of pulls people toward them. And the dude has that. So it's like... I mean,
it's definitely a weird element of the series.
Yeah, it's not like women are lesser, and it's not that. It's just, there's just like a lot of, you know, when women cross their arms, what are they crossing their arms underneath? Oh, please, let me know.
Bosom.
This person says that Jordan doesn't have a clue how to pace his books.
There could be some validity to that. Just, once again, there's 14 of them. You know.
This person says a 14-book series is not too long.
I don't think that's not a roast, is it? That's like a...
Well, I think it's an unpopular opinion.
Oh, I see.
Like, everybody's like, 14 books is too much. And this person's like, no, it's not.
Disagree, it's too long. At this point in my life, it's too long. When I was, however old I was...
Young adult
13 or 14, starting those, time was infinite. But now...
You have some gray hairs.
Yeah, I don't have the desire or the time to read 14 books in a single series. Like now. Like if there was like a new series that came out and someone's like, this is amazing, and there were 14 of them, I'd say, sorry, there's 14 of those. That's way too long. Unless they're like Nancy Drew size.
I don't think 14 is too long necessarily. I just personally don't think this series needed to be 14 books long. Just based on the 4 I read, there was a lot that I thought could have been trimmed down. Okay, you'll have to help me out here, because I don't recall this. It says, I got a little bored with Rand comparing himself to hard materials. What are they talking about?
Is he like, I have to make myself stone, or...
Oh!
Is that what he... Like... I can't really remember either, but I think it is like he has to like...
To control...
He has to like harden himself.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. One person says, too many characters that don't matter.
I would agree with that. We are going to end it there. I actually thought these were going to be more aggressive. So I feel like we just had a nice little conversation, actually, about a lot of the cons.
Maybe if you really loved the series, it would feel more aggressive.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe if you're like a big fan, you're like...
He can totally write women.
Not long enough. It's long enough. Well, thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you. If you guys have any of your own things to add to this, let us know. And if you feel the need to defend the series passionately, feel free to do that also. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Leave us some suggestions of other ones you would like to see. Sean wants to do this for Watchmen because
I won't be able to handle it.
He can't handle if somebody says anything negative about Watchmen. So if you guys would like to see that, let us know.
If you want to see me act like a child and get defensive,
then do it. Let us know if you would like that to happen. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.